We are at a Commodity Classic in San Antonio, and joining us right now is Neil Hoff. He's with CHS. He is manager of product marketing for CHS, and we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming spring season. Neil, thanks for joining us today. Well, we have all kinds of snow. It's been cold the whole bit, but producers need to start thinking about getting ready for the spring planting season. And to avoid fuel problems, there's a couple things they should do, right?
You bet. Thanks, Brian. You bet. Yeah, a lot of snow, a lot of cold, but we know springtime is coming. A couple things. Be prepared. First and foremost, tank cleaning. Tank maintenance is probably dirt, sediment, water. Water creates probably about 70% of all the issues inside our fuel today. Now, you couple that with today's modern diesel engine technology that's running well above 400 to 500 degrees heat at the injector tips, generating 30 to 35,000 pounds per pressure. You need to have the right fuel in the tank as well.
So really, filters, not only just on the tank, but even on the equipment too, right?
Oh, absolutely. To start out any season, start out fresh with the filtration system. At least you know you're going to be able to filter out some of that sediment that's set at the bottom of your fuel tanks all winter. And especially if you haven't cleaned it, you're going to pick up some stuff once you start putting fuel into the equipment.
Now, let's talk a little bit about, you mentioned the tanks. Now, we're talking storage tanks, but I guess for myself, I would even think that it wouldn't be a bad thing for the fuel tank on my tractor to say, you know what, I think we're just going to clean that whole thing out.
You bet. It all depends on preferred maintenance intervals. I would say, again, as you start out the season, starting to put the hours on the equipment, absolutely great idea to go ahead and get all the filtration cleaned up on the tanks right through to the power unit.
I think at the end of the day, it might even save you not only headaches, but also if the fuel is going through properly, probably save some money on fuel too.
Well, absolutely, because if you're not running efficiently, you begin to lose power, fuel economy. So yes, over time, you're just going to burn more fuel and your equipment's not going to optimize performance.
Again, talking with Neil Hoff. He's a product manager for CHS. And Neil, with CHS, we have the Ruby Fieldmaster. That's always been a very well-known and very well-respected diesel fuel and works very well in the field. But CHS said, we need to make some changes, and you've done that this year.
Yes, we have, Brian. You know, to be the leading supplier of premium diesel in the United States, it's always about innovating the product. We understood that with this high heat and pressures I've mentioned earlier, we needed to continue to improve the product to meet the demands of this high-tech equipment. What we have done, we spent over a year out testing in the field, actual farm work, in the livestock, the feedlots. We farmed over 34,000 acres. We fed over 12,000 head of cattle on 6 different farms in 3 different states. And so we were very happy with the results. The package is intact with the addition of a new injection stabilizer that not only cleans but prevents injector fouling. So in the old, some packages have a detergent to help clean. We actually say we'll prevent and clean up existing. And we've been out and proving that in the field. 34,000 acres tested. We're real happy with the results we got.
Also, too, right now, with the spring planting really just around the corner, we're going to have the increased demand. And we kind of saw what happened in fall and in winter with propane, where all of a sudden everybody's trying to get some. And we have supply shortages, price spikes, that sort of thing. So really for producers, they want to avoid some heartache and headaches and all that other good stuff. Now would be the time to make the order before the mad rush.
Oh, absolutely. Plan ahead. You're right. We don't want to go through what happened in propane. It's not unlikely to happen, but yet plan ahead. Start rotating your tanks out. A lot of it might have some number 1 diesel fuel in there. Start thinking about thinning that down with some Ruby Fieldmaster so that when you get ready to go, who knows when we're going to get there, but worst case is we all start at one time. Certainly puts some stress onto the supply situation.
All right. Well, again, Neil, we appreciate you joining us today.
You bet. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
That is Neil Hoff. He is the CHS manager for product marketing, and we are at the Commodity Classic in San Antonio. I'm Brian Winnikins for Real Country 1430 WRD.